Dear Professor Zombor, dear Professor Silagi, Professor Vielec, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, the aim of my presentation, the aim of my paper is to take a duly justified position on the issue of the participation of older people in road traffic. In other words, I would like to say few words about the possible restrictions of the ability of the older people on driving vehicles in road traffic. And of course, with particular consideration of the Polish and European factual and legal situation. And the inspiration for conducting research on the issue was the interpellation to Polish Minister of Infrastructure and Polish Minister of Health, prepared by one of the members of the Polish Parliament regarding the obligatory test for senior drivers. And here has the interpellation, and what the above shows. It shows how the stereotypes related to older people are still alive in Polish society or in Poland in general. It shows that we are still perceiving older people as people who are dangerous drivers, who have to be as people who has to be checked, verified more often than other people, so-called normal citizens. In other words, there are still situations in Poland in which there are attempts to discriminate against older people by preventing them, due to their age and only due to their age, from fulfilling their full potential in social life. And that's why I've decided to ask three general research questions. And due to the questions, I had to verify if, first of all, I have to verify if older people can be perpetrators of crimes, and of course they can. Of course they can, and they are, and according to the research conducted in Poland in the years 2014, 2019, older people committed more than 61,000 crimes. Or at least this is the number of crimes we have detected. Because there's always a gray area, and we cannot be sure how many crimes actually were committed by older people. What is important, most of the crimes were committed by men belonging to a group, young seniors age group, about 64, 65 years, and most of these crimes were crimes regulated in the Polish Criminal Code. But what is the most important, most frequently committed crimes by Polish older people were crimes against the safety in road traffic. So another question arises, are older people actually a group of people with a particularly high statistics of crimes against traffic? And the answer is no. Because as you can see, the rate of the number of the accidents caused by older people per 10,000 population in 2023 was only 3.62, and it means that they are not the most dangerous drivers. They are the most safe drivers in Poland, especially if we consider young drivers between 18 and 24 years old. And that's why it's surprising that we are still formulating proposals to restrict the ability of older people to driving vehicles in road traffic. And it's not only Polish idea. I think that you know that this kind of postulates were formulated and pushed by the Greens at the pan-European level. There was, let me see in my notes, there was an act, the proposal for a directive of the European Parliament and of the Council on driving licenses, in which it was assumed in a completely arbitrary manner that drivers, after reaching 60 years old or 70 years old, become dangerous drivers and they need more tests, more verification, just because of their age. Of course, we can formulate this kind of proposal, but we have to remember that this kind of proposal bring the discrimination. Fortunately, they were rejected, but they can always come back. They bring us discrimination and they bring us exclusion of older people. And discrimination and exclusion of older people can bring poverty. Poverty can bring even crimes. So it's not the best idea to introduce this kind of proposals in European, Polish-Hungarian legal system. And that's why I tried to search for some alternative solutions. And there are solutions proposed in the literature. There are solutions introduced in different legal systems, but what is the negative sides? All the proposals are still discriminatory, because all the measures you can see here are aimed directly at older people. They seem to suggest that older people are dangerous, that older people don't know what is good for them, that we have to decide what is the best solution for older people. That's why I've tried to find something more, and I have formulated the lege ferenda proposal. I've proposed to introduce into Polish, European, even Hungarian legal system some achievements of other disciplines, especially achievements of the 20th, 21st century psychology. Especially, I decided to propose to use so-called status quo bias, which is used in Poland, for example, when we talk about organ donors. So you have to you are obliged to give your organs, but if you want not to do, you have to declare that this is your decision. And I think that it is a good idea to introduce something like that in case of driving licenses, older people, and the society in general, to make people want to do tests to verify themselves, but not because they are obliged to, just because they want to. And of course, this is not the perfect solution. That's why it should be followed by additional solutions. But nevertheless, I think this is the only way of treating older people if we want to ensure that their dignity is really protected. So you can read more in the paper I've prepared. I hope you will find it at least interesting proposal that could be considered, even if you don't want to consider introducing it to a particular legal system. This is the end. Thank you very much for your attention.